Hi guys, welcome to another video tutorial with me, Claris. In this video, most of you know I've been selling these beautiful canvas bags on my website. And so as the orders are coming in, I am painting cute little thank you notes to go along with this. And so this is exactly what I'm going to be showing you guys in today's video, how we can create personal touch and fun little watercolor thank you cards to go with whatever it is you are sending out, whether you're a business owner, whether it's a personal thank you card or a get well soon card or hi hello card, whatever it is. All right. And if you are looking for the link for these cute little bags, I have listed it in the description below. And now we can begin painting. So to start, all I have done is taken some Canson XL paper and cut it up in fours. I cut up the whole 9x12 sheet in four, and this is what I have. We're making sure we are on the textured side of the paper to paint. And then for my brushes, I'm going to be using these three guys right here. Let me just adjust the screen. We've got Princeton Velvetouch Petals number 6. We've got the Princeton Velvetouch round number 4, and then Princeton Neptune number 6. So keeping it sort of kind of basic. I know I have the petals in here, but we've been doing a few petals brush videos, and I want to use this a bit more because it's such a great brush. For colors, I'm using my set of 36 White Nights right here. I'm going to list all the names of the colors down in the description, so please feel free to check that out. And before we begin, guys, if you enjoy fun videos like this, DIY inspirations and watercolor fun, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button, and you will always find something new once a week here. First thing I'm going to do is get some muted color. So a mixture of maybe 20-80, which is 20% color, 80% water. And I'm going to start off with this color right here. It is English red, and I'm just going to mix it with some leftover Titan red that I had here. So something like an orangey, with an orangey hue is good enough. And this is the mixture that I have so far. And then we're going to tag team this with color on our Velvetouch number 4 to kind of drop that in while it is still damp. So here we go. We've got a good amount of color. I made sure it's nice and watered down and lightened up. And we're going to do our first bloom over here. So starting off with one stroke, pressing down, pulling downward. That's our first petal. I'm going to dip the tip of my brush in water, get another petal happening right here. Trying to leave a little bit of white space in between each petal. I know I closed that up over there, but we do also want to make sure we leave a white space for the center. So if you're not very well versed at how to do that, just do little dots around, and then you'll know to kind of end your petal there. So now these outward petals that I have here, I'm pressing down, pulling towards our dots, extending to get a nice wide coverage for our petal, and you're always pushing the color all the way down. Let's get one more in. So this is going to be a nice big basic flower, and by basic I mean like a regular 5-petal flower. I love this English red. It is such a cute little earthy pinky tone almost. And here's our 5th petal. Okay, so nothing super complicated, just easy and fun, leaving that nice white space. Now we're getting our number 4, and I'm going to get some Titan red. Actually, no, we're going to get some carmine, because I think the pink carmine, which is very much so like a pink, goes really well with like this peachy tone. So make sure there's no water pooling here, but before it dries up, you want to go in and add these cute little strokes, starting from the outside, pulling downwards to the center of the flower. Now you want to make sure you get a lot of color. So I'm getting the color directly from my color cake and doing this. and go all the way around, and this is what gives you that beautiful blend in your petals. You can even drop some color around the edges and pull it downward. What I would do is wash off your brush if something like this happens and just blend it in. You can, I'm just going to add a little bit more here. You can even rotate your sheet so that the color kind of gets into the petals, or you can use your brush to kind of help it go along as well. Lots of different options. If you're new to watercolor, just give these suggestions a shot. This is the best way to learn how the medium works. So whatever leftover color I had on this brush, I'm kind of lightly adding some strokes within our petals here just to sort of help the color along and give us some nice two-tone blends within our petals. Okay, and that's that. You can even deepen the color off the center. Just go in and add more of the carmine. And again, taking it directly from the color cake. You can just dab. And we're doing all of this while it is still damp. So we have our main flower, and I like the idea of doing a similar colored flower, but just on a looser scale. So just getting some leftover English red that we have. Let's just add something like this at the bottom. On a smaller scale, looser scale, not as much detail. I'm just dropping in some easy strokes here to kind of create this flower. I'll just drop in basic strokes up here as well to kind of indicate maybe that this flower is up there. Just dropping in a little bit of a darker hue at the bottom. And then back to our carmine and dropping some of that in the center here. So this one I created super fast. Again, we want to keep it, now that I showed you the technique, you want to sort of go faster with your flowers so you're not spending tons of time nitpicking on little details when this is supposed to be a loose style of painting and flowers. I'm going to drop in a little bit more of that darker hue just in the center and watch it bloom because we're doing this while things are still damp. For this guy over here, because he's kind of facing upward, in fact, I could just maybe add some at the bottom here and pull some in. We just want to have a semblance of an idea that these flowers are extended over there too. So something like that works good enough. And now we can move on to doing a couple more like filler flowers that are around our main ones. For our filler flowers, we're going to do, again, very basic flowers, kind of like our main ones, but on a smaller scale, and some beautiful, beautiful purple tones. So I'm going to start off with using Quin Lilac, it's Quin Rose actually first, which is like a nice pinky mauve. And I got color directly on my number 4. And we're going to do cute little flowers. I'm going to start from the top here just because this area is a little damp and I want to get some nice blending. So look at those beautiful jewel tones. So all I'm doing is one stroke like that, another stroke like this, another one in the back, and allowing that color to bleed. Dipping the tip of my brush in water, I'm going to create more of this style of flowers. So kind of just like 3 strokes. Dipping the tip of my brush in water. I am now going to get a little bit of violet on the tip of my brush. Drop that in here. And then proceed to use this to create a couple more flowers. Now I'm adding more water to my brush just to get a lighter version of these flowers kind of fading off at the top. And you can see there's a lot of blending because we've got like a ton of water in these little shapes. These are the shapes that are supposed to indicate that those are flowers. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did up there down here. And this time we can reverse. We can maybe do, actually no, I was going to say reverse it by using some of the violet first, but the violet is extremely strong. So let's stick with our Quin Rose. I think that'll be better. So Quin Rose on my brush, dipping my brush in water to water this down a bit. And we're creating our cute little flowers. Look at that, so cute. And this is very obviously one of my favorite colors from this set. So create a bunch of these random little flowers or shapes and then drop in some of that second color, which is the violet, just a tad. Okay, so now I'm going to get some of that Quin, dipping the tip in violet. I'm going to drop some of that in here. We need a little bit more violet. Can use a very similar technique for pansies as well. Let's do one here. And these are obviously a lot lighter, so you get that nice fluffing effect, like I like to call it. I'm going to get a little bit of that purple, drop in a couple of dots here and there. And once you're content with how this looks, we're going to move on to doing our leaves. So I think this is good enough. It's bright, it's beautiful. We've got a great offset happening of different colors. So let's move on to doing our leaves. So for the leaves, I am going to be using my Petals brush, and I have a little bit of the olive green over here. So we'll start off with the olive green, and this is more of a 30-70% mix. And we'll connect our little filler florals here, just adding a couple of stems to it using the nice fine pointed tip of this brush. And over here too, you don't have to connect them if it's not something you want to do. I personally love connecting these. I find them super relaxing and fun. Even though it's so minuscule, you can barely, well, the details are so tiny that I guess depending on the kind of person you are, you either notice them or you don't. I do. And so I kind of like it. Okay, so here we go. Using the tip to do this, and then we're going to do our little leaves with it. Now for the leaves, I love the idea of using the nice long leaves for this. And again, making sure that your brush or your color is not very dark, so you're adding more water to your mixture. So I'm going to add a couple of extended little things like this, tendril-like stems. And again, while this is damp, it gives you that nice, beautiful bloom. If you don't like the bloom, please take another brush that's just damp, so no color, and you can swipe off the color and dab it onto your paper towel, or you can also take paper towel and lightly dab this off. So entirely up to you. So now we're going to do our leaves. So I got some of that here. I'm going to do a small one like this. So just small leaf like that. So from the back, I'm just pressing down and trailing towards the stem. I'm going to do another one kind of like that. And then this is not the best area because this seems to be an area that's not catching the color. Sometimes that happens with this paper. which is interesting. So feel free to add these leaves wherever you think you need to add some. So I'm just doing these cute little whimsical stems or leafy items. And let's do some over here at the top. So we've got one here, get one this way. Some in between to kind of really enhance that full floral feel. Okay, so something like this. And then getting a bit more. And I don't like how dark this is turning, so I'm going to take some color off. And that's good enough. Let's do a couple more, starting from here. And this is such a great brush for cute little organic looking green elements within your flowers. So we've got our cute little tiny green elements. You can choose to leave this as is, but I'm going to enhance it by doing one more set of leaves. So I'm taking this darker green that I have here, which is essentially Mars brown mixed with emerald. That's right. And we're going to create a couple of leaves around these guys right here. So you could choose to do one over here, over here, over here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's just see how this works out. So the first leaf is going to be over here. I'm going to use the tip of my brush to lightly graze, pulling down or trailing down. Then using the tip, pressing down, I'm going to lightly trail off, getting more color. I'm going to create another one. And there's our leaf. I'm going to get a little bit more color and I'm going to create one more. Just like that. Okay. Then we're going to do a couple more over. I said we'll do one here. So let's do one over here. I know this one's twirling upward, so I'm hesitant to sort of figure out how to. This time I'm starting from outside in. There we go. Dipping the tip of my brush in water, getting a little bit more color. It's going to do a very light, smaller version of it here. And then last but not least, just a cute little like fluffing style leaf. And fluffing style leaf is pretty much just like a very casual stroke with a lighter color. That's what I'm referring to, at least when I say fluffing. So we're going to do a couple more over on this side. In fact, you know what, I'm looking at the greens. We could have gotten a little bit darker or gone a little bit darker with these leaves. So I'm going to add one here. I'm going to add another stem-like item over there just because I know this flower. This is supposed to be a flower that's upward. And then we can do another leaf over on this end. So make sure you have enough water on your brush, so this way you can start, press, and then trail off for a longer period without getting a dry effect, unless you want the dry effect, in which case that's totally fine. And we are pretty much done. One more thing that I would do, and that is adding some centers to our main big flowers, just because we don't have anything else, right? These flowers we're kind of leaving open-ended. So I would suggest mixing this color, and that is Carmine mixed in with either Mars Brown. Yeah, let's do Mars Brown. So I'm going to mix some of that here, get some of my Mars Brown, and get like a nice darker color. Actually, we might have to mix it in with sepia for a darker tone. So something like this. You get a little bit more sepia. Perfect. And then we're going to just trail grays to kind of just give it some strokes, and then just dotting the top. And you repeat the same thing for this flower right here. And then that is pretty much it. I'm just going to make sure I got a little bit more of those dots here. Perfect. And we are pretty much done. If you wanted to add more details in your leafy greens here, you can, but this is essentially what I am doing for my cute little thank you cards. So if you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button. And if you end up doing these for yourself, I would love to see it. So please do share on social media and don't forget to tag me. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll chat soon. Bye.